This is ABC 7 News at 5. Your Suncoast News. We're here for you.
Good evening, I'm Haley Wilkes.
And I'm Scott Dennis. Thanks for being with us tonight. Topping our news, the Sarasota-Bradenton International Airport will be charging airlines less in an effort to bring more nonstop flights to the Suncoast.
With pressure from airports to the north and south, SRQ officials say they are committed to becoming a top choice for local travelers. ABC 7's Adam Cellini is joining us live from the airport with more on this new initiative. Adam.
Scott and Haley, thank you. Behind me, you can see there's not much activity on the runways here. This is a slow time of year, and it's also a tough time to try and find a nonstop flight, as many of those services are seasonal here at the airport. Well, now the airport will be dropping terminal fees to any airline that can add or create a new nonstop destination to serve the passengers here in town. Joe Fahey was able to book his ticket to Washington, D.C. at the SRQ airport Tuesday, but he'll have to go to Tampa to use it.
Sometimes we have to use Fort Myers or we have to go up to Tampa, and needless to say, that's a much longer ride. And this is much more convenient. Of the few passengers in the airport Tuesday, several say connecting flights aren't very convenient either.
We do have a toddler, so direct flights are definitely more convenient for us to get there quickly.
I would mind if there was nothing available and I have to utilize later on in the day. I know it gets congested at the Atlanta gate to Sarasota.
That's why the airport will now waive terminal fees for airlines adding nonstop routes. 2 years for an airline adding new destinations, and 1 year for someone adding more routes to existing cities like New York and Charlotte. Tampa and Fort Myers have long been stiff competition for air service, but now the smaller Punta Gorda is growing after a recent agreement with the cheap but popular airline Allegiant.
As the growth of the ultra-low-cost carriers has continued, we're just seeing more and more of this aggressiveness from the competing airports, both in the region and in the country, of offering these types of incentives for air service. The discount is expected to cost the airport $230,000 in revenue next year, which they hope to replace by attracting more passengers. Fahey says that shouldn't take much else.
This is a cozy, wonderful little airport. I hope we can get some more direct flights out of here.
Now, this new incentive package was only approved by the airport authority yesterday, so still no word on if any airlines have come forward with an offer. This new package, as part of the new package, the fees here at the airport will now be half as much as Fort Myers and nearly 2/3 cheaper than Tampa International. Live in Sarasota, I'm Adam Cellini. Scott and Haley, back to you.
All right, Adam, thank you. Now to the Zika virus outbreak here in Florida. Governor Rick Scott now confirming 5 new non-travel related cases of the mosquito-borne virus, including a case in nearby Pinellas County. The other new cases are in Miami. Health officials are looking into the possibility that the Pinellas County resident was infected with the virus in a neighboring county. The Florida Department of Health has started door-to-door outreach and sampling. They're also working with Pinellas County Mosquito Control to begin aggressive spraying there. The total number of local transmissions of the Zika virus in Florida now up to 42.
A Sarasota County man will serve 2 life sentences for 2 separate murders. 24-year-old Cottrell Johnson pleaded guilty yesterday to the deaths in the deaths of Robert Mann and a beloved Manatee County teacher, Kenneth Ellis. In 2011, Johnson shot Ellis, who was a teacher at Manatee School of the Arts, during a failed home invasion robbery. Just 3 months before, Johnson shot and killed Robert Mann while trying to rob his home in War Mineral Springs. In court yesterday, jurors were lined up to be questioned in the case involving Mann. But instead of going ahead with the trial, Johnson agreed to serve double life sentences for both murders. The state believes justice for the victims and their families was served.
We were very surprised because we were ready for trial. We had gathered all our witnesses, some as far-flung as West Virginia. I think the sentences are good in that this guarantees that Cottrell Johnson will never walk among us again. It protects the community from a violent person.
Johnson will be sent to a Florida state prison to serve his time within a few days.
A call to action in Manatee County for foster parents. The Safe Children Coalition is calling the situation desperate. They've seen more parents die from heroin overdoses in the last 2 months than in the last 2 years, leaving many kids without homes and in need of foster parents. That's why the organization that works to protect children is putting together a town hall meeting along with several informational sessions to let people know about this crisis and recruit potential foster parents.
At this point, if we can get one person interested, that's just one less child who has to stay in a shelter or a group home, but can go into a family home and to a family situation.
That town hall meeting will be held a week from today at Bradenton's Dream Center from 6 to 8 p.m.
Several apartments at an assisted living facility in Manatee County are damaged tonight because of a kitchen fire. A guest of a resident at Westminster Towers and Shores left a basket on top of a stove and it caught fire early this morning. The sprinkler system quickly extinguished the fire. No one was hurt, but the residents at the apartment that was damaged, along with 13 adjacent units, were also damaged. A few residents are being relocated until repairs are made. And we are closely watching the tropics tonight.
Yeah, Chief Meteorologist Bob Harrigan keeping track of that and some record heat here on the Suncoast today. Bob?
Yeah, 97 degrees today. That topped the old mark of 96. It was a very hot day, and even with a little west wind, too, it still managed to get up there to 97 degrees. It's 93 now, so it's cooled a little bit. The humidity dew point is 78. That west to northwest wind just kicked in because the dew point just an hour ago was at 71 degrees and the humidity was much lower than it is now. So we'll keep an eye on that. The feels like temperature, at least near the airport, fairly high up to about 104 degrees. Well, the tropics are active as they should be this time of year. The good news is the reconnaissance aircraft investigating this disturbance earlier today did not find any closed level low circulation. And what that means is that it's not developing. It's a very large system too. When you have a large system, it's very hard for it to get consolidated and organized. So we're going to keep an eye on it very closely, obviously. Let's take a look at where the projections are for this system. A 60% chance of developing in the next 5 days. It has to go through the mountainous terrain, possibly, of Hispaniola. That would really inhibit it from developing. But if it stays out here over the Bahamas, in the southeast Bahamas, it could really get going right here. And notice a couple of models do take it over the island here and dissipate it. Just a few are taking it off to the north, while the bulk of the models now are taking it a little bit further south each run. So we'll keep an eye on this for us. Right now, it looks like it could be a very heavy rainmaker for us on Sunday and possibly into Monday. If it were to follow a more southerly course, we may not have much of an impact at all. We'll have much more on the tropics coming up in just a few minutes. Back to you.
Thank you, Bob. ABC 7 business commentator Richard Stern is joining us now. Another quiet day on Wall Street, but Richard, at least we're seeing up arrows.
Haley, you've got it exactly right. And the reason for the quiet nature of the week really has an awful lot to do with Janet Yellen. She, of course, is the chair of the Federal Reserve Board, and she is speaking in Jackson Hole, tough duty, speaking in Jackson Hole on Friday. And frankly, everybody's just on hold to see what she says about interest rates, although most people don't think there will be another interest rate increase, at least not until December, but we'll have to see about that. The NASDAQ today, intraday, had a new high, but it didn't close at that level. And we did see a little bit of volatility. The high of the day was up 102 points. Unfortunately, we didn't finish with quite that big a gain. Let's take a look at the numbers. The Dow Jones Industrial Average up almost 18 points, exactly 0.1%, closing at 18,547.30, again on light volume of 611 million shares. The NASDAQ intraday, yes, no new record at the close, up 15.5 points, 0.3%, closing at 5,260.08 on volume of 1,426 million shares. The S&P, for those of you keeping score at home, that's the 32nd consecutive day in which it has not moved by 1% in either direction, up 0.2% today, 4.25 points at 2,186.90. Well, if you were interested in buying shares of Best Buy, I think you should have bought them yesterday. The reason for that is the stock was up by a whopping 19% today, and the reason for that is earnings. Best Buy came out and said their earnings were well ahead of Wall Street expectations. Appliances selling very well, consumer electronics, and of course they are the largest consumer electronics retailer in this country. Same-store sales were up by 0.8%. Most people were expecting a decline. Also, like many other firms in the world, guess what? They're seeing an increase in their online business. So all in all, Best Buy surely was a good buy yesterday.
And even more news tonight, Richard, on Best Buy?
Yeah, I'm going to make fun of my friends at the Wall Street Journal. I don't think you can see this at home, but today's journal says Best Buy just isn't the buy it used to be. Well, they published that this morning, and I guess they were kind of wrong about that. So even the Wall Street Journal doesn't get it right every time.
Okay, good to know. Richard, thank you.
You're welcome.
A newly redesigned BMX track will open this weekend in Sarasota County. The $2.4 million renovation is nearly complete. It included adding starting hills, a new start gate system, and upgraded lighting and drainage. The new track replaces the original one that was built more than 40 years ago. County hopes this new track will attract more BMX events to the area and reinforce Sarasota County's growing reputation as a sports destination.
The feedback we've got so far on the track has been tremendous. I mean, everybody says it's a great track. It suits anyone from 5 years up to the professional Olympic athletes. So we're quite pleased with that.
A grand opening celebration will take place this Saturday at the Sarasota County Youth Athletic Complex. That's off Tuttle Avenue. Celebration will include BMX demonstrations, refreshments, and many other fun activities. Doesn't that look fun?
I love watching it. I've covered a few stories in Texas on this, and it's really cool to watch.
I'd like to just try it.
Try it out.
Yeah.
I think that the kids are so fearless about it. That's what's so fun to watch them
I'd go
do
much
it.
slower. But
Yeah, I think so, but it's fun, yeah.
So to come in your Suncoast News, President Obama sees the devastation in Louisiana with his own eyes, what the government is doing now to help those in the flood-torn region.
And ABC 7 Chief Meteorologist Bob Harrigan will be back with your full weather forecast and an update on the tropics. Plus, using milk instead of plastic to protect food, how this edible food wrap works in Health Smart.
They're coming from Tampa, Fort Myers, even Orlando. They're coming from everywhere for the Sarasota Ford Promise. Our promise means a new car you'll love. If not, return it for one you do. At Sarasota Ford, we promise live market pricing. We monitor national pricing on our entire inventory, so you get the best deal. In fact, we guarantee it. Bring us any competitor's ad, and we'll beat it by at least $1,000. That's why they're coming from everywhere to Sarasota Ford, where 41 meets 301. SarasotaFord.com.
When you have credit card debt, the debt suckers, high rate and high pay, never leave you alone.
Debt is really sucking the life out of them. He's picking up the phone.
Oh, no, not Consolidated Credit.
With one call, they can lower their credit card rates.
And consolidate their bills into one low payment.
They'll pay off their debt in no time.
Call Consolidated Credit now.
Because debt sucks.
Call 800-201-0230. That's 800-201-0230. Call now.
Attention blood clot filter patients. Surgically implanted blood clot filters are potentially life-threatening. Some filters are prone to breaking, resulting in pieces of the filter moving through the body and causing internal bleeding. If you had surgery to implant a blood clot filter, you may be entitled to a cash award, even if you haven't suffered side effects yet. Call the Gold Shield Group now, 888-747-5291, to see if you qualify for a cash award, 888-747-5291.
They say good things come to those that wait. Well, you've waited long enough. You deserve to feel fabulous in your fashionable new Fiat 500X from Alfa Romeo Fiat in Sarasota. Boldly innovative, seductively stylish. Fiat gives you everything you'd expect from a capable utility vehicle, like a spacious interior and advanced safety systems, designed and built like a sexy little Sportster. Don't wait any longer. You deserve to feel fabulous. Get a new Fiat at Alfa Romeo Fiat of Sarasota.
Today, everyone is looking for carpeting that lasts longer. G. Fried has you covered with Karastan. With a legacy of quality and integrity, we provide you with a huge selection of Karastan carpets with exclusive lifetime limited warranties. All installed by our highly skilled, highly knowledgeable team. Come ask us why Karastan is the best and most durable. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
Welcome to the all-new Seymour Buick GMC on the island of Venice.
Seymour smiles.
Seymour selection of quality new and pre-owned vehicles.
Seymour for your trade-in.
Seymour savings.
Step up to GMC and get cash back for up to 12% of the MSRP on these select 2016 GMC vehicles. That's over $9,300 cash back on this Yukon.
Seymour now at Seymour Buick GMC on the island of Venice. Go to SeymourBuickGMC.com.
The president has seen firsthand the areas affected by massive flooding in Louisiana last week. 60,000 homes are damaged, affecting thousands of residents there. ABC's Marcy Gonzalez is in East Baton Rouge Parish with more on President Obama's visit and the recovery efforts.
From the receding floodwater to everything it destroyed, President Obama getting a glimpse touring the devastation in southern Louisiana.
I hope they see that so many people have just lost everything. I mean, every piece of furniture in my house is on the curb. My walls are on the curb. My carpet is on, everything.
The president talking with owners of some of the 60,000 homes that were damaged more than a week ago in the worst natural disaster in this country since Superstorm Sandy. The fast rising water blamed for 13 deaths, 30,000 rescues, with 2,600 people now still living in shelters.
What I want the people of Louisiana to know is that you're not alone on this, even after the TV cameras leave. The whole country is going to continue to support you and help you until we get folks back in their homes and lives are rebuilt.
While praised for the federal aid already coming in, a sharp contrast to FEMA's response to Katrina, President Obama also facing criticism. Donald Trump, who visited Baton Rouge last week, among those saying the president should have cut his vacation short to make this trip sooner.
But Louisiana's governor disagreed, saying an earlier visit would have taken away resources from the recovery efforts, which are clearly still far from over. Marcy Gonzalez, ABC News, Baton Rouge.
It's just terrible to see that.
Yeah, I'm sure those folks are like we are here in Florida watching the tropics.
Yeah, and everyone, has access now to these forecast models, and you can't really rely on just one. So the National Hurricane Center looks at the whole suite of them, right? There's 30 different models that are run each time. And so one thing to note, though, is a lot of people are familiar with the European model because it did so well with Hurricane Sandy, Superstorm Sandy. Well, this last European run shows it going across southeast Florida and then exiting into the Gulf of Mexico and headed back toward Louisiana later on next week. So let's hope that doesn't happen. Yeah. But the European model is not one to just throw out and say it's outlier there. So we'll have to watch it closely. But it's a long way off, so anything can happen, and that's the thing we need to know. As far as we're concerned, it's the heat of the day that's really been the story around town. Lots of hot air moving in, and that's a result of an easterly wind flow. Now, we have had a few showers just pop up within the last half hour as the sea breeze has developed, but mostly throughout the day we've had this northeast wind. And when you get that, things really heat up. And boy, Casey Key, a beautiful beach day today. And you can see that line of showers now starting to pop up on the radar picture just in the last few hours, heading from the northeast to the southwest. Tomorrow, we'll get more of an easterly component as that high pressure kind of sets itself up over the southeast United States. I mentioned the showers that are around. They're progressing through Hillsborough County now. One lone shower near Longboat Key and also some activity northwest of Parrish. That is pushing to the west and to the southwest at around 10 miles an hour. You see that rainfall now near LaBiance and Longboat Key, Club Road there, as well as some showers over in northern portions of Manatee County. The sea breeze itself, just within the last half hour, has kicked in. This is this line right there. You can see it. Now moving toward Lakewood Ranch. And so we'll see other showers popping up here and there over the next couple of hours. Now, as far as the water vapor content goes, it's starting to moisten up a bit. You can see this moisture moving from the Atlantic into our area. A lot of dry air still out ahead of that tropical disturbance. We'll talk more about that in a bit. Your evening planner calls for a few scattered showers and an isolated thunderstorm up until about 9 o'clock, and then things will start to calm down. After that, temperature staying warm. It's 93. Just an hour ago it was 95. And an hour before that, it was 97. So it's cooling, but it's still very hot. The pressure 30.08 inches, and that's holding steady right now. 88 degrees in Jacksonville, 93 in Tallahassee. Tallahassee at 97, 93 in Sarasota, and 91 in Miami. Around the area, temperatures all into the low to mid 90s right now, although Sebring at 89, Avon Park at 89, and that's what our water temperature is right now as well. High pressure is starting to build in over the southeast, and what that means for us is that this system may stay further to our south. Reconnaissance aircraft indicating that it's not very well organized. You can see it's more of an elongated line of low pressure or a tropical wave that is pushing off to the west. A lot can happen between now and Sunday. As far as the forecast models go, there is a chance that it may actually dissipate over parts of Hispaniola, and then some still take it off to the north, but that's becoming less likely. More than likely, it will have an impact on southeast Florida. The intensity is still a long way off, so we don't quite know yet, but we'll keep an eye on it for you. Obviously, it's an important story across the entire state, for that matter. A light chop on the bays and inland waters. Seas running 1 to 2 feet, and the water temperature now at 89 degrees. And the upcoming tides, the low tide will be at 11:31 tonight. The forecast, warm and muggy, isolated storm, partly cloudy, 78 for a low. Tomorrow, heat index up near 100 to 105, still hot. 103, the possible heat index as early as 1 o'clock in the afternoon. The extended forecast calling for a good chance for at least afternoon and evening storms. We'll be keeping a close watch on the tropics if it were to have an impact on us, more than likely Sunday and Monday, the time frame. Scott?
Okay, Bob, thank you. In Suncoast traffic watch right now, no crashes, but traffic is backed up as it typically is this time of day on US 41, right near Fruitville Road in both the north and southbound lanes. Also heading east on Fruitville, a little backup or slow down there as well. Haley?
Thank you, Scott. In health news tonight, the CDC says about a quarter of contact lens-related corneal infections. That's a mouthful, but it can be avoided by using your contacts properly. Around 41 million Americans wear contact lenses, and in 2014, more than 99% of patients surveyed reported having at least one behavior that puts them at risk for an eye infection. 99% of users. The most common misstep is wearing contacts for an extended period of time, along with sleeping in the contacts, swimming with them, storing them in water, and using expired contacts. Using a virtual reality obstacle course on a treadmill may help prevent falls among vulnerable adults. In a Tel Aviv University study of adults ages 60 to 90, after completing 6 months of virtual reality treadmill workouts, the fall rate dropped from about 11 falls in 6 months to just 6 falls. Researchers say this program trains both the motor or gait aspects that are important to fall risk, while also teaching the participants to improve cognitive functions needed to prevent falls. Scientists are developing an edible form of packaging which they hope will preserve food more effectively than plastic film. It could also reduce food and plastic waste. It's made of a milk protein, and the film looks similar to plastic wrapping, but it is up to 500 times better at protecting food from oxygen. The packaging doesn't have much of a taste, but flavors could be added to it, as could vitamins, probiotics, and some other nutrients. Very interesting to eat your food wrapping. Well, coming up, if you have the guts, you can walk across the highest bridge on the planet. I'll leave that to somebody else. And a group of troopers give carpool karaoke a try. We'll see their viral video straight ahead.
Hurricane season is here, so when severe weather threatens, count on the official Suncoast Storm Team at ABC7.
We bring you storm warnings faster and with more detail than ever before.
And track storms right down to your neighborhood.
On air, online, and on your mobile device. Turn to the official Suncoast Storm Team at ABC7. We're here for you.
Temperatures are rising, and the deals are hotter than ever during the summer clearance event at Sunset Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Sarasota. Get the all-new Chrysler Pacifica for just $26,999 and get an additional $1,000 off with a trade-in. Hurry! Time is running out to get the new Dodge Journey for just $15,999. And right now, get up to $10,000 off a new Ram Crew Cab. Better prices, bigger selection. Go to Sunset Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Sarasota.
Whether you're a homeowner looking for a professional installation or a contractor looking for top quality products, Sarasota Glass and Mirror can meet your every need.
For 42 years, Sarasota Glass and Mirror has been the area's premier supplier and installer of quality glass products for your home or business. As an authorized PGT WinGuard dealer, we know how to protect your home with everything from the PGT WinGuard impact-resistant windows and doors to shower enclosures and decorative mirrors. The Sarasota Glass and Mirror team has the knowledge to tackle any project.
Getting older shouldn't mean giving up all the things she loves to do. It should just mean, well, finding new ways to do them. Right at Home's professional team thoughtfully selects caregivers to provide help with personal care, housekeeping, and of course, meal preparation.
Oh, that smells so good. Oh, and it tastes good too.
We can provide the right care right at home.
Do you have what it takes to become a champion? The Sarasota YMCA Shark Swim Team has been developing champions since 1961. Fall swim team tryouts for kids ages 6 through 18 are being held August 15th through the 18th and August 22nd to the 25th from 5:30 to 6:30 p.m. Tryouts are held at the Evelyn Sadler Jones Branch, YMCA's Selby Aquatic Center. For more information, visit sarasotaymca.org/sharks.
The official salon of ABC7. dancing loose along.
It's Lincoln's summer sales event here at Alex Karras Lincoln. Drive a brand new 2017 Lincoln MKZ for only $299 per month, or a 2016 Lincoln MKX, Lincoln's premium sports utility vehicle, for $339 per month. We also have a great selection of certified pre-owned vehicles. Drive with the confidence of a 6-year, 100,000-mile comprehensive warranty and complimentary roadside assistance. Alex Karras Lincoln, family owned and operated, and winner of the prestigious 2015 President's Award. We are located 2 miles north of the Sarasota-Bradenton Airport on US 41.
A domestic dispute leads to a tragic apartment fire in Chicago.
The fire claimed the lives of 4 people, including 3 small children. Authorities were called to the apartment building around 1:30 this morning. Inside one apartment, they found a man's body. The bodies of a 4-year-old and a 6-year-old were found in another apartment. A 3-month-old baby was also taken to the hospital in critical condition, but was pronounced dead later in the day. Police believe someone deliberately started the fire after arguing with someone else.
The fire was suspicious in nature. It's under investigation. We did have 2 minor injuries to our firefighters, but they're doing fine.
The man suspected of starting the fire is now being questioned by police.
Police in Australia have a crock of a problem. They're asking for the public's help in finding a few shirtless vandals who broke into a school and dumped saltwater crocodiles into the main office. 3 crocodiles were pushed through the broken window at the school. The animals were all in poor health with their mouths taped up. And if that wasn't enough, the men stole computer equipment before taking off. Police say when captured, the intruders face up to $50,000 in animal cruelty charges.
China is known for smashing records. This time, it could be for the world's sweatiest palms and trembliest knees. The world's highest and longest bridge is now open in China, and it's made entirely from glass. The bridge stretches 430 meters over a 300-meter deep valley between 2 cliffs. People are lining up for hours just to cross it. But if you're a bit iffy about this, you will be allowed to smash the glass panels with a sledgehammer to test its safety.
I met a girl crazy for me.
Well, some Indiana State troopers showing off their grease skills. They recorded themselves lip-syncing the classic duet Summer Lovin' as they cruise around on the last day of the Indiana State Fair. The mini carpool karaoke video has gone viral, giving this law enforcement quartet yet another reason to love them some summer. How about that?
I love how they have their straight face as they're doing it. They're not cracking up or anything.
Especially the guy singing it,
yeah.
The female part.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Well, still to come in your Suncoast News, a big plan for a small community in Manatee County.
What commissioners are working on to spruce up Ribonia. That story coming up.
Stand out in your new wild Lexus. Now is your golden opportunity to lease a new 2016 Lexus ES350 for only $329, or enjoy 0.9% APR, just $329, exclusively at Wild Lexus of Sarasota on Clark Road.
Welcome back, 2 of my favorite guests, Cash 3 and Play 4.
Surprise! We're Pick 3 and Pick 4 now.
Whoa!
But we still play exactly the same. We just got a fresh new look.
Speaking of surprises, I have one for you. Say hello to Pick 2 and Pick 5!
Introducing the complete Pick family of games.
We're family now.
The new Pick 2 and Pick 5 have joined Pick 3 and Pick 4 to give you more choices in your daily gameplay. The Florida Lottery. Just imagine.
Since 1972, Sleep King has provided quality mattresses and accessories at the best discounted prices available. Top brands like Simmons, Sealy, Serta, Beautyrest, iComfort, and more. With available free delivery, free financing, and free setup and removal. For a comfortable night's sleep with same-day delivery, even if we have to carry it on our backs. Trust Sleep King of Sarasota. Buy it today, sleep on it tonight.
At Sunset Subaru in Sarasota, we make sure you get the most for your money. More years, more miles, and when you're ready to sell, you'll get more money back. Come fall in love with the longest-lasting vehicle in its class, the Subaru Outback. Or lease a new 2017 Subaru Forester for just $209 a month. Or get 0% financing right now during the Subaru A Lot to Love event. Get more for your money. Go to Sunset Subaru in Sarasota.
They care. They take the time
to understand you, take the time to understand your case.
There's no better satisfaction to me than to see a client who is happy because of the job we've done for them.
It's really actually very comforting to know that there's someone that you've heard of and you're getting recommendations about that you can turn to when you have a problem.
I felt like I had a partner in this, and he was going to be by my side.
Today, everyone is looking for more fashionable choices in flooring than ever before. And G. Fried has responded with a huge selection of carpets, tile, wood, laminate, and vinyl. Installed by a highly skilled team, G. Fried has got everything you're looking for and more. The next time you think about quality flooring, think G. Fried Flooring America. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
Stand out in your new wild Lexus. Now is your golden opportunity to lease the bold new 2016 Lexus RX 350 for only $419, or enjoy 1.9% APR, just $419, exclusively at Wild Lexus of Sarasota on Clark Road.